about the idea of crypto and joined the space in 2012, 2013. I started working for Cointelegraph, and at the start we had just several people, and over time and grew exponentially. A special term for that, crypto winter. And because I was in the industry for many years, I have actually gone through several of them, and every time some of the people are panicking, oh my god, what's going on, everything will crash. I honestly like this period of time. Teams who were just running after the hype, they leave the market. I see that some companies just see a lot of hype around it and just want to make PR around that topic. In my opinion, like, this should be a very serious decision, because on the one hand you can create the community which will kill your product and the token. On the other hand, you can build a community which will be like lifetime support, which would help you promote your product, which would drive the traffic to your product, and like will be a core pillar of the product growth. I think it's a question of 10 years that people would really, maybe even more, transition in the metaverses, because now there are a lot of experiments around them, but the technology is absolutely not ready for the mass adoption. Strange things will be happening on the way, but we will come to the point that it would be beneficial, in my opinion.
Hi, this is She Did It Show, and I'm your host, Daria Mudrova. Today, I'm happy to talk with our guest, Victoria Vaughan. Victoria is an entrepreneur and Web3 expert. She gathered over 8 years of experience in the crypto space, primarily serving as CEO of Cointelegraph, the world's top crypto media, and bringing the company to the top positions on the market. She developed this company from 0 to 15 million users. And today she is the founder of incryptoland marketing agency, which works with such brands as Sandbox, Gate.io, Shopping.io, and others. Among their media partners are Bloomberg, Bitcoin.com, Crypto News, and many other media outlets. And she is the owner of Visa for Extraordinary Talents in the US. Hi, Victoria.
Hi, Daria. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Thank you so much for coming. I'm so happy to talk with you today. You have such an extraordinary experience working in crypto space that...
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I would love to talk with you today about your experience working in your publishing media, about your experience being a founder and entrepreneur, and about Web3, what's going on right now, about the crypto scene, just to make this interview being easy to understand, maybe some introduction to the space for someone who is just curious and want to start and develop their skills.
So my entrepreneurship experience is not so large yet. I started my company a year and a half ago, and before that I always worked for different companies, but I can say that from the start I always wanted also to build something on my own, but it took me much time to come to that feeling that, okay, I'm ready, I don't want to work for anyone else, and I want to try by myself. Yeah, but initially I have a degree from University of Information Technologies, Mechanics and Optics, pretty tech education, and my initial job was as a product manager for a tech startup. Then I kind of accidentally found out about the idea of crypto and joined the space in 2012, 2013.
Wow, and no one knew about that yet.
Almost no one, yes. The space was super early. It was interesting, very unusual. For example, when we were attending some cryptocurrency related meetups of that time, they were meetups, not conferences. And now the conferences are so huge, like thousands of people attended. And now in New York, I go to the restaurant, and every time somewhere on the near table, people talk about NFTs, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Web3, and the industry has grown a lot. And of course, it's a very big of luck to be in the space that like has this growth, and you have a lot of different experience. I started working for Cointelegraph, and at the start we had just several people, and over time and grew exponentially. And for sure I had all different kind of experiences on product development, business development, sales, marketing, pretty much everything. And for sure, it was a great training for starting my own business. Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that's amazing introduction. Thank you so much. We will go more deeply to details of your publishing agency, media, and about your experience working in marketing agency. And I will start just from the beginning. I will talk with you about Web3 space because I'm actually learning also, and how the Web3 space ecosystem looks today.
Yeah, so to be honest, all this even Web3 term appeared not so long ago, and to illustrate, when we were starting Cointelegraph, it was like more crypto and blockchain space, and overall this industry has ideas about decentralization, but still many products in the space over time were very, very centralized. While Web3 is a concept of a new kind of interaction of the user with the internet, when it happens not through centralized entities, but you have like access directly to the application yourself. You store your funds yourself and like pretty much control everything, and it's all around the idea that the apps and the internet is created by the people themselves, not by the giant technological companies.
It's like before Facebook and Google came to the market. Yeah, like it's actually how Web 1 looked like in the beginning.
Yeah,
back to that concept.
Yes, definitely. And now like we are seeing this transition again. So in Web3 ecosystem, I would say there can like different kind of products exist. If we talk specifically about cryptocurrency field, it can be decentralized exchanges, decentralized wallets, DeFi protocol. In general, like those, they are all financial products. Now we start seeing that different companies also try to build some more close to real life use cases around ecological problems, around fashion industry and things like that.
Yes, actually, you started answering my second question, and how this transition from Web 2 to Web 3 happens. How do you see that right now?
Each company like makes its own decision whether to move or not. We have like chatted with you about it some time ago, right? And to be honest, I see that some companies just see a lot of hype around it and just want to make PR around that topic. In my opinion, like this should be a very serious decision because it's not easy to do it in a smart way. For example, I would say 95% of like tokens in Web3 and in general Web3 initiatives, they go down, and if you look at the price graph, it would be like from here to here, 90% fall in price, for example. Companies should be very careful when working on this transition and to be deep in the understanding of the strategy and what utility and values they can provide to the audience by by doing this, because to be honest, in Web3 the technologies and products are often not of the highest quality. A lot of them have a very complicated UI. Still, even the most popular wallet in Web3 space, which is called MetaMask, for the person who has never used cryptocurrency and anything like that, I think this product will be very complicated to use. Like, you don't understand what many features even mean and what to do with that. So for sure, when it comes to the Web2 brand and the owner understands that his audience is not in Web3 at all, you should know that you will have to invest a lot into educating of people, because it's not easy to use Web3 technologies.
Yeah, I see. So actually you see that adoption, the mainstream of using Web3 is still on not very friendly user experience.
Yes, not very friendly. During last couple years, NFT hype has increased the mass adoption a lot, and also several cryptocurrency did big collaborations with celebrities and different advertising on Super Bowl and things like that. Yes, for sure, it did drive increase of the using of the technologies, but again, I'm not sure we can still talk about real mass adoption of cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I got it. But with the recent crypto crash, which opportunities and challenges do you see growing after that? Because before, you watch any sport channel, so many advertisements on the TV from top celebrities coming from about crypto. But right now, it feels like the crypto scene is going through some challenges and
crypto
changes.
winter. Yeah, there is a special term for that, crypto winter. And because I was in the industry for many years, I have actually gone through several of them, and every time some of the people are panicking, oh my God, what's going on, everything will crash. I honestly like this period of time because, for example, teams who were just running after the hype, they leave the market, and unfortunately in every new industry, especially unregulated industry where you can get big financial gains, you get a lot of participants who just want to use this for their own financial success, not really deeply want to build something, and unfortunately a lot of scams happening and people just lose their money. And during crypto winter, you really see the teams who are super dedicated to the products, who still continue building. And even in terms of marketing, I would say sometimes it is easier to build community during bear market and do different marketing activities, because the price for marketing as well, everyone reducing it, influencers, media platforms, and for organic PR as well, it is easier to catch attention because during bull market so many things are happening and media platforms are extremely catchy on which materials they publish organically. So during bear market it's like a perfect time to do PR and marketing. For sure, it is, for example, harder to do the fundraise. I have seen if during the bull market companies raise 50 millions in a week, easy.
And it's like institutional money came in easily.
Yeah.
But now
now for sure, venture funds, they invest more carefully, they are more picky. But still, it's absolutely possible. I think if the team and the founders have strong desire, good team and good product, they will still be able to build.
Yeah, if it's a good quality product, right? Yeah, it seems like it's all financial circles. The same goes on with crypto as well.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. Actually, speaking about marketing, So you just mentioned that this is very good time to develop some marketing strategy. You work for incryptoland marketing agency and you founded it.
Yeah.
Tell a bit more about that agency.
Yeah, so in general we do all directions of marketing for Web3 and crypto related companies. We do organic PR, which means we help companies to be covered by top publications in crypto, and not just in crypto. We also work with financial, tech, and different business media as well, because now definitely Web3 and crypto is outside of its own world, and every major publication also now covers news related to that industry. So this is for the organic PR part. And then we also do different performance marketing campaigns, user acquisition, general marketing strategy, community growth, and community management.
So actually I feel that the most interesting part is like community growth, so which comes from marketing activities like going for social media, and there is also the big part, organic PR and media buys. Also, when you have partnered with such like big media outlets as Bloomberg, and you provide this service as well, right?
Yes. So I would say organic PR works very well for overall brand awareness and trust. And it is very important like for building your brand and your community. But for example, often founders expect that they would publish an article on Bloomberg or on some media, and that they will get thousands of traffic everywhere. All the users will come to them and buy everything. PR is not a performance marketing instrument, and it's more like for people to see something about the brand, to read about it and start memorizing something about that. But for example, when you need users who would use your product or who would become a community for your business, there are either instruments you can use like performance marketing, collaborations, working with influencers. It is very important also to carefully choose the instruments. I see that many teams, it's very easy to go for quite fast instruments and to get like thousands, tens thousands of people in your community and followers, but they would be just people who are hunting for giveaways, for contests, and not really caring about your product. And unfortunately, like many agencies offer this kind of promotion. Yes,
so it's like giveaways, like it's like social media stuff.
It's like when the project, usually in Web3, each project has its own tokens. I would say if we compare with the usual financial world, it's like shares, but in Web3 world, tokens usually do not actually like have any connections with the equity of the company, but it's still a financial stimulation. And usually projects have some token allocated for this kind of contest activities, and they usually say like to the audience, okay, follow our project, use our product, and you will receive like small amounts of our token. And then people do that, and they receive the token, and then they sell this token, and the token price just goes down if the project was not using the right instruments and the right channels to attract the initial community. Because on the one hand, you can create the community which will kill your product and the token. On the other hand, you can build a community which will be like lifetime support, which would help you promote your product, which would drive the traffic to your product, and like will be a core pillar of the product growth.
Yeah, but what are those tools which are which will bring that kind of audience, the good audience, right?
Yeah, so one of the best instruments, I believe, is to find relevant collaborations. So for example, if if it is a decentralized wallet like MetaMask, to illustrate, there are some complementary products that would be like good partners for MetaMask, to illustrate some decentralized exchanges. And when you are able to find the partner which has not a competitive product but kind of complementary, and then you would do cross-marketing and collaboration. So like you would announce something about your partner, the partner would announce something about your product, and like this way you just transitions users for each other. And in this case you can do some kind of promotional campaigns or like a contest campaign, but you know that you will be attracting like real life users, not just people who are hunting for the giveaways. So first, this collaboration thing is really powerful, high quality, and it requires like business development, but not so much investing in terms of marketing budgets, to illustrate, because all the other ways are more like paid marketing, like working with influencers, and influencers in Web3 space charge like pretty much, and you should also be very careful with them as well, because many of them have just fake audience. It is very hard to track the quality of the audience. They all buy these bot comments, bot views, and things like that. So with the influencers, yes, I would say it is good to work with experienced agency, because at least agency have done like a lot of campaigns, and they know the stats, know the results, and understand who from influencers like would perform better for the product. And then there is like paid marketing through Twitter, through Reddit, and there are also some crypto advertising networks like Coinzilla, for example, where you can buy specifically targeted Web3 crypto related traffic.
Oh, wow, awesome. Like, you talk about influencers. Which platforms are those influencers? Is it like specific one?
Yes, they are on YouTube, Twitter, Telegram groups, but they are just like, they have also, even in Web3 industry, there are different kind of the topics they cover. Some of them focus on play to earn and gaming projects. Some of them are more about NFTs. Some of them are more about technology. So you also need to find someone who would be relevant for your product and audience.
Speaking about like the good examples of marketing campaigns and brands which successfully integrated from Web 2 to Web 3, what will be those examples at this current moment, on your view?
Well, some brands like Nike, in my opinion, were able to like generate good traction from the art stuff. I would say Gary Vee did a great job, and they are very mindful about the utilities, about the NFTs. I just recently actually checked their Discord, and by the way, Discord, are you familiar what is Discord? Have you ever used it?
I actually started to discover this platform. I haven't registered there, but I never
so Discord is super popular for managing community in Web3 space. Yeah, and for example, in case of Gary Vee, they have a lot of people there, and they like run some activities, some meetings, and things happening all the time, and people there are super active. Yeah, and some communities are absolutely dead when the founders have not like really cared what to do with this community. Some celebrity NFTs did not perform well at all, unfortunately.
Really?
Yeah.
So, but it's like, as I understand, like based on my view, actually, it's like social network where you have some rooms with lectures and like some topics you discuss with people by interest.
Discord.
Yeah.
So like every product sets up the Discord like the way they want, but usually there are like different threads, different like announcement channel, for example, where project just announce all the news, some like general space where people can chat about anything, and then specific topics that they discuss within the project. This activity, this contest, this marketing campaign, and things like that.
So actually, what it feels like, if you want to create the community around these Web3 technologies, you could use Discord as well, right? It's like social media.
I mean, it's just one of the instruments, in my opinion, not the specific tool that is so important, but more your strategy, the values you put for your community, the communication, how you communicate with them, how you engage with them, and how you make them feel that they are really a part of the product and that they can influence things. It can be Telegram, it can be Discord, it can be Twitter.
Yeah, so actually Gary Vee was a good example in your view, who created VeeFriends.
VeeFriends, yes, VeeFriend NFTs.
Yeah, that's awesome. Is there any like bad example on your, like who just did it maybe for PR? It's also how like, if people do it just for PR, maybe PR it's a good result. If someone just wrote about that, it's already good news for them.
There was a lot of hype around Justin Bieber NFTs, for example, but as far as I know, no like real valuable utilities was behind, and those NFTs just dropped in price. Like, this is actually also true about all other NFTs who were initially just from Web3 space. Now basically everything is down.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, actually, but what is going on right now, like even despite this crypto winter time, I see that some brands is like Warner Music, Disney, they open new positions for Web3 projects like NFT, and it's still kind of...
As a technology, for sure, it will be living, and in my opinion, music industry is a very interesting industry to apply those technologies. There are a lot of creative ways how you can engage listeners and make them, for example, get some part of the profits from music produced by artists and things like that. So music industry, I actually think it's a really good use case for like Web3 and creating these kind of activities. And it's like not just about hype, but about transitioning to a new kind of technology and approach that you use to work with your audience. And long term, I'm absolutely sure that those technologies will be developing and companies would use these technologies, but it will probably just come to a point when people will not care, is this like Web3 or not? The product will be just built the way they use it, they can benefit from it, and it's a super convenient thing. Like with the car, right? You just drive it and you don't understand how everything is working inside. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I just like recently saw people, like some artists, they do concerts in metaverse already, and it's like cartoon characters who are singing, but it seems like it can develop to bigger scale when we'll have like glasses and we can present on this.
Yes, for sure. Like this augmented reality will be developing, and when it will be becoming bigger and bigger, metaverses will also be growing. But to be honest, I think it's a question of like 10 years that like
10 years,
people would really, maybe even more, transition into metaverses, because now there are a lot of experiments around them, but the technology is absolutely not ready for the mass adoption.
Yes, so summarizing like this marketing strategy things, so what are the most key essential marketing strategy tools to build the community on your view? Because I feel like this is the point for now.
Well, you should always start from strategy, from understanding what your product is, for whom you are building this product, and like which values your product brings. After that, you understand, okay, who are those people you really target, and you build your communication strategy for community and marketing strategy, like how to find those people. Then you understand, okay, this is this profile of audience, and probably their interests are 1, 2, 3. And then, for example, you go and find the sources where the people, what do they read, with which brands they are already following, which products they are already using, and then you understand which kind of collaborations you need to build, which media platform you need to use to make announcement and things like that.
Yeah, so awesome. And you need to understand that you have to put some efforts and lots of energy to that. And
yes, and from the start it is super important to think about utilities of the token, because when you go into Web3, like you produce some NFT or some token, and you should be very careful with it and understand how to motivate people in community to stay and to continue hold your tokens and not just sell everything and leave the product.
Yeah, so about building the healthy community. Going back to 2013, you started your career in crypto. How that happened?
Like, you know, all the big things in life happen accidentally. Yeah, I just accidentally found out about the idea of cryptocurrency when I was at some financial conference in Paris. Yeah, and then I got interested in it. Back then, I think the major source of information was a crypto forum called Bitcoin Talk. I'm not, by the way, even sure if it's active now or not. Yeah, but it all sounded super interesting and super unusual. And I guess I have like an adventurous spirit and like
definitely
trying new things. Yeah, so I decided, okay, I shall try.
Yeah, and you started working there.
Yeah, I started working for a startup
like
at the time,
startup,
like a media company. Yeah, it was called Cointelegraph. It's now the biggest media publication about the industry. Yeah, so it was a fun journey.
And like, congratulations, you actually, as I read, you grew this from the 0 to 15 million users.
For sure, not just me.
And
also, we had a big team and very talented people who made it happen. Yeah, we did a lot of fun things. We were experimenting a lot. And again, even with Cointelegraph, for example, a lot of growth was done through partnerships. I mentioned that you can grow your community through partnerships. You can also build your media brand to illustrate through partnerships. Yes, at some point of time, we partnered with other industry leaders, but not the media companies, more analytical websites like CoinMarketCap, for example, and we bought out all the advertising spaces for them and became a major seller of the crypto-related traffic in the industry. And we did cross-promotion with them because they put the widget which was leading to Cointelegraph website on the main page, and this way, for example, we grew their audience a lot. Then we also did expansion to different local languages, and now Cointelegraph is published, I think, on more than 10 languages, something
10
like
languages,
that.
wow.
Yeah.
All around the world. So, but you started like it was like a blog, like just couple
yes, for sure.
a week.
Yes, at the start we did produce maybe 2 articles a week. It was very small.
Yeah, and then you partnered with other platforms which are not exactly media but related to your niche.
Yes, at the first stage, yes. And then on the later stage, we also partnered with different media platforms, but they were not just crypto related, but also business and finance media, and we also started offering our clients to be featured not just at Cointelegraph but also at Bloomberg, the Next Web, VentureBeat, and platforms like that.
So basically that was like an international project. Did you work with international contributors around the world?
Yes, basically we always had international team of journalists and all other business development managers, salespeople all around the world. It was very interesting for me. It was first time I was managing the team like fully online. Sometimes we would just meet in different places in the world at the conferences. Yes, then at some point we also opened an office in New York.
Wow, so you did it like back then, working in Cointelegraph. Yeah, which challenges did you experience doing such a research for right talents, right contributors, right partners?
Yes, this is the hard part, especially because crypto was so new. It was difficult to find someone who really understood the industry. I would say we were searching just for like general finance or technology journalists, and were educated them on our space. It was not easy because also a lot of very deep technical stuff is happening in the industry, and journalists sometimes they cover news, but they do not deeply understand what it really means. Yes, for sure, a very core process in the media company to find journalists who are also very passionate about the industry and deeply understand what's going on.
Yeah, because kind of whatever they publish can manipulate the opinion in the market, and it's actually such a big influence, I think, having the media in such a industry. So
I would say technical mistakes and misinformation is a problem, because it happens often that in many media resources journalists try to cover something techy, and it's hard to do.
Yeah. How did you manage that all? So being a female CEO working in such a male-dominated industry, and being actually female founder today in New York City, how do you find yourself? How do you feel in that aspect of your career?
Honestly, I'm very used to that because everywhere from my childhood I went also to a school with physical and mathematical angles, and with my classmates there were 18 boys and maybe 4 girls. Then we had quite similar situation in university as well. Then at first tech job I had also, we had mostly male team members, and for me it just always felt very naturally. I would say probably I would even be shocked now if I come and I need to work in the industry where there are just more females. I never had any problems with being a female leader.
Yeah, but actually,
and in general, I would say Web3 industry, it is very inclusive and friendly. Just it's really hard from the start, especially if you do not have any financial or technical background. It looks very, very difficult and geeky to make this first step and start learning. And so I assume in general, just probably ladies are kind of frightened and think oh no, I will not be able to understand it, it's so difficult. But now I see more and more female founders and in general women joining the industry, which I believe is great.
Yeah, definitely. And we need more women there to create more women-related products. Which will be
but overall, I believe if you are a professional, you understand what you do, you are smart, you will not have any particular difficulties being a female in the male-dominated industry.
Yeah. I know that you have some guide, yes, for
Yeah.
beginners. Could you tell
Yeah,
about
I
that?
actually created at some point like a beginner's guide, which explains what is the industry, what kind of products are in ecosystem, how to start, how to learn. So yes, we'll be happy to share for sure.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, so we could later like share maybe some link or something, yeah, with users. Yeah, and actually you as like today you're an entrepreneur, right? And probably you some female communities or some tech-related communities helped you along the way to adapt to this industry and to feel more comfortable and like to find the support. Is there something like that, or it's still?
There are female leadership communities specifically in Web3 now, and some like female leaderships NFT projects like World of Women, for example. The one I really like also called the Boys Club. Yes, and ladies are also super supportive for each other. Like, and in general, I'm also a part of a lot of Web3 and crypto-related groups. I don't know, for me it just happens naturally. Even when I travel, I just join also some local meetups, groups, and I instantly have some new local friends and feel like I'm at home and comfortable wherever am I.
Yeah, you just recently shared with me your journey. You've been traveling across all Europe.
Yes.
And you met so many people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, where have you been traveling? Just could you share a little
Yeah,
bit?
so last 6 months I was in Israel, south of France, Italy, Lisbon, Dubai, Bali, pretty much everywhere, yeah. And mostly everywhere there were some local Web3 crypto communities, so I made a lot of cool friends and connections, yeah.
Yeah, wow, it's awesome. It's awesome to see how that grows. And well, do you advise some websites for women who just want to start their career in tech and to be part of this tech community, Web3 community?
Yeah, in general there are good beginners guides at Cointelegraph, CoinDesk and Coinbase, and also there are some specific communities and websites where you can go and find crypto and Web3 related jobs like crypto jobs and things like that. I will share several links with you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, just I'll put it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So you've been working in media. How did you switch to be entrepreneur? How that transition happened for you?
Overall, like now my business is PR and marketing, and it is still like a lot of work around media, communication strategy and news coverage. So I would say it is quite an organic move, yes, from my previous career. As I shared before, I always wanted to try to build something on my own, and I guess I just came to the point that I felt that I have enough experience to try, and also I felt I want to be free and just work like for my own business, but it really took me like many years. I know many entrepreneurs, they start super early, especially now in US, in New York. I meet so many people who are 23, 24, they already sold couple companies, now they're building something else. Yes, it took me much more time to transition to more like entrepreneur mood, but at least for now, I'm very happy that I did it. I feel much more happy, much more free, and really enjoying this journey.
Yeah, it sounds amazing. And how do you look for your clients? How do you work on this aspect of your business?
Well, first, I've been in the industry for quite long time, so
long,
I know many of them. Then we have a lot of clients, which I'm super happy about, because other clients refer them to us, which like basically means that clients enjoy working with us. Then we attend a lot of different industry events, and we usually partner with industry events, and this is like a very good source of high quality leads. And there are different crypto and Web3 related groups, LinkedIn, Twitter, where you can make an automation of your sales processes. So like now we're actively working on that.
Yeah, actually, you also participated in a lot of conferences by yourself. So recently you've been in Miami.
Yes, I'm also now participating as a speaker. This is like good for personal brand, for company brand, and for sure also like when you speak to projects, they trust you much more. Like, oh, you're a speaker, you must understand things.
Yeah, so actually what I see your top topics which you speak about, it's like women in tech, it's integration of Web 2 to Web 3.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and in general, about PR marketing in the industry, so pretty much my line of interests and expertise.
Any projects you're thinking to work in the future?
Honestly, I would want to build some product. I don't have like an exact idea yet. Probably it will even be something outside of Web3 crypto. I'm now very much interested in AI and will probably build something around that. Agency is a interesting business. It's especially cool because you can work with different brands and like try out a lot of different instruments and marketing tools, and have a huge background in marketing, but it is still not the most scalable business. Like to build the company, to grow the company, you have to hire more and more people, while building a product is like more a scalable thing. So I would definitely want to build a product in future.
Yeah, actually it's very interesting what I see right now, which products, which kind of Web3 startups are existing today. What kind of, so this is like shopping, right? So it's actually integrating the same companies but to different type of currency. For example, it's like something like Amazon but in Web3.
Kind of, yes, yeah.
This way,
but generally still 95% of the products in Web3 are around some financial use cases like cryptocurrency exchange, cryptocurrency wallet, some DeFi protocol which would help you stake your cryptocurrency, and all around that industry.
Yeah, so actually the main idea is to do decentralized products which users will have.
Still, like even in this industry, there are some of centralized products and some of them are decentralized products.
But how does it?
So, for example, if we talk about crypto exchanges in US, probably the biggest and the most famous one is Coinbase, and this is a centralized exchange, which means if you use Coinbase and you deposit funds to your Coinbase accounts, Coinbase is storing your funds. While, for example, if you use decentralized exchange Uniswap, you do not send your funds to them. You use like decentralized wallet MetaMask, and like no one actually has access to your funds besides you. So these like are technically and architecturally technically differently built products.
Actually, I have Coinbase recently.
Yes, so like
it's like centralized.
At any point, Coinbase can just freeze your funds, or like if something happens to Coinbase, it will disappear.
But if we speak about MetaMasks,
MetaMask, you hold your own. It's called private keys, which means like no one has access to your funds. But here another problem comes, that you should be super careful and mindful about storing those keys, because if someone steals it from you, hacks your computer, you will lose the access. Or for example, if you just forget this private key, you will not be able to access your wallet.
Yeah,
So it's
actually
your
it's like
responsibility.
different device should be, right? It's like a flash card or some disk.
No, MetaMask is not a device. It's also a software product.
It's
But you have to save like this secret phrase of words somewhere. You can write it down on a paper, or you can just use some password solution, I don't know, to store your phrase, but it's all software.
Yeah.
There are some hardware wallets called Ledger, and this is probably what you're talking about. It's like a flat USB. Yeah, you can use. It's a cold wallet.
Yeah, so there are like different aspects about security of your funds. It's like technical aspect, it's the platform which you choose also. And this is another question is, should you and how, like, what's the percentage from your savings you should invest to crypto and to this type of projects like that? What is your approach to that?
Yeah, I do not want to give investment financial
none of that,
advices.
Yes,
Yes, but in general, personally, I believe that, at least for myself, I made the decision that better I stick to more conservative approach and have like major part of my portfolio is a conservative portfolio, and then have like 5-10% of the whole portfolio allocated for more risky investment initiatives, and cryptocurrency is part of those initiatives. But it can be, for me, for example, not only cryptocurrency. I also sometimes do pre-IPO or some just risky stocks of the companies I believe in and things like that, but it should be like the amount of funds you are ready to lose.
Yeah. We actually recently talked with you about some new term for me I never been familiar with, tokenomics.
Yes.
Could you tell a little bit more about that? So as I understand, if we speak about like this ecosystem of Web3, there are some companies.
Yes, in Web3 basically almost every project has its own token, and usually the project tries to give this token some utilities. So I will give example with Uber, for example. If Uber had a token, I would assume as a product manager I would give a token a utility like a user. I would tell the user, okay, you will buy my token and hold a certain amount of my tokens, and you will have a discount, like a 10% discount for the rise throughout like 5 years, things like that. So the user has motivation, he knows that he will need to use your product, and there is a way to get some benefits from that. But in case with Web3 projects, the products are more financial related. So to illustrate, some exchanges can run different products like hold our token and you will have 0 trading fees, which means like when you exchange one token to a different, you would not pay the fee, things like that.
So actually, if we talk about non-financial Web3 projects, but some like companies is Uber, like, and so the inside of the company they set up this the percentage of tokens they allow to give to users in exchange of free rides or something. Another percentage they will give to user to influence maybe
some so usually when Web3 project creates its tokens, yes, they initially understand this amount of tokens we will give to investors, this amount of tokens we will give to the team, this amount of tokens we will use for the marketing purposes, this amount of tokens we will use for development. It's basically how you distribute all the funds you have in the company, because usually those Web3 projects, they get the investments through tokens, which would mean the investors invest not in the token, not in the company shares, but in token. So for example, project says that we will sell this amount of tokens, and in return they would receive stable coins from the investors, like basically USD. And then they understand how they would be distributing these funds for the product development, for the company development.
Yeah, doesn't sound. Sounds for me that someone can just buy a lot of tokens and to be more influential than other users.
Yes,
So-
and that's what often happening. Although a lot of people in Web3 try to build decentralized organizations.
Yes, exactly.
Still, they have to do the fundraise, and then they have investors. They have the team who still holds the majority of tokens and have like a higher influence on the decision making in the company.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. So now it's more clear. Yeah, how that works. Yeah. For someone who is also curious in this theme, is there any media you personally read or you'll recommend about crypto and about to be more aware about this market?
Well,
Cointelegraph. Yes.
Yes,
That's for sure.
Cointelegraph, CoinDesk is also the leader of the industry. I'm also following a lot of Twitter, but it's like the whole world of crypto people who are on Twitter, to be honest. Yeah, sometimes like if you know who to follow, you can get the news even faster than it's covered by the media. Yeah, but it's harder. And then there are also some channels who aggregate news from different media sources. I also can share the links with you, and some of them are actually in my crypto guide, the news platforms you can follow.
Yeah, which
To understand what's going on.
you can trust, and to see this picture and what's going on, to be on the top of things. But on your view, it's like all these big changes in the mainstream adoption will happen like in 10 years or something. So we still have time to integrate to that
I
space.
think for some use cases, like with music industry and with NFT industry, it will be happening faster, in my opinion, if we talk about metaverse, augmented reality, and like when all the people will transition to the whole new world, it will take more years.
How do you personally feel about that transition, like augmented reality? Are you still an adept of real world? It's like everything has to be offline. Like a lot of people are just scared of this idea, but it's just like the development of the.
I would not
industry.
say I'm scared of this idea. I feel like it's pretty natural development of our society at the moment. For sure, I'm sure a lot of like strange things will be happening on the way, but we will come to the point that it would be beneficial, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So this all security issues will be covered, like the data.
Every industry is maturing over time. Even like when we look at crypto and Web3, it's much more regulated now than it used to be at the start.
You can see actually this growth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when I spoke also with about AI, about augmented reality, it's fascinating. Like all this, like fashion, virtual fashion.
With AI, I think in general, it would just come to the point that we will be able to delegate more things to AI, but you still need a human being to give the tasks to the AI.
To design
so
it.
it will be like a tool. Yeah, I think like long time ago when there was all this production revolution and some machines were like started appearing, people were also scared that people would not be needed anymore, but they are needed, and those are just so like completely different things that we need to do now, and I assume it will be the same with the AI.
Yeah. We'll see.
What about you? What do you think?
So actually I feel that the customization is an amazing thing, and that AI will be more empathetic in some point. So they will cover our needs in different fields more than now. But it's also like there are some dangers, like the usage of our data. And I hope that like the Web3 and AI will emerge in that way, then those issues with the AI will be covered by Web3 or somehow?
I feel like AI has so much more use cases than Web3, to be honest. It can be applied to also so many things and in an easier way.
Right? Yeah.
Yes. Then, well, while Web3 honestly really like requires, it's not needed everywhere.
Mm-hmm. It's more like are switching from I don't know, like digital contracts which are existing today, or like just regular contracts to online contracts.
Yes, yes.
It's more like having. We actually spoke about like the gallery stuff, yeah, like about art, or how it will be. Like we just can go for more experiences. It's also Web3, right? Like if we create like the gallery room and some, you know.
Yes, art also transitioning more into digital world, and all the contemporary art, the most contemporary art is now more like digital and interactive.
Yeah, so that's interesting. Yeah, in that usage case. But AI as well, it's huge. It's like can be everywhere.
But I can't again to create some like art piece using AI. You still need to give some task, some prompt to the AI.
So there is no danger that robots will take over.
At least not at the moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll go. Yeah. What other? I wanted to ask you. What other books and some maybe sources of information which inspire you, support you along your way in this journey?
I read in general both fiction and non-fiction books. For education, honestly, I follow also a lot of newsletters and Twitter, and I feel now that like my industry and marketing industry, for example, is developing so quickly that it's not very good strategy to read books about it. It's more like you have to learn on the go all the time. Yes. But I really enjoy reading. There was a time when I was just reading more like business literature and like self-help literature, psychology literature, but then I was so tired of that I stopped reading at all. And then I switched back to fiction literature as well, and I believe that reading some classic literature, for example, also helps you develop communication and psychological skills a lot, because of course depends on what you read, but still many characters in literature, they are like so deeply psychologically worked out characters that you can also learn from that, and you're also enjoying it. So I would say now I just combine fiction and non-fiction. I do like one fiction book, then I do one non-fiction. So non-fiction, I just enjoy like beautiful storylines. In general, in life, I'm super inspired by beauty in everything. I really enjoy watching European cinema, when like the shots are beautifully made and things like that, and same with the books. And in general in life, I always try to fill my life with beautiful details, like drinking in the morning coffee from a very beautiful cup. It's a small thing, but to be honest, it changes everything so much. When you start the morning from the things you really love, you are just like enjoying everything 10x.
Wow, yeah, love it.
Yes, so I try, like, my apartment is filled with antique things I really love, and lately I'm caring about like how I live, what I do a lot, and it increases and like kind of optimizing my level of happiness and brings me so much enjoyment. And sometimes those little things that make like all the difference, like, you know, you changed, like you invest 20% of your energy to change something and then have this 80% outcome.
Yeah, actually, I feel you. I have the same actually. Sometimes I really feel that little things just makes me so much happier.
Yeah.
And without actually like a jewelry.
Oh, thank you. By the way, this is a jewelry brand I invested in.
Oh, really?
Yes, they're super cool. It's called Rara Jewelry.
Okay, that's amazing. It's actually so inspiring. So you just feel that just little things around you inspire you, and also like travels, I guess. So movies, books. Like
yes,
yeah.
With travels, to be honest, after these 6 months traveling now, I just feel that I want to be at one place, and again, I'm deeply enjoying just being in my beautiful apartment I created for myself. Yeah, but in general, for sure, I love traveling, and it broadens your mind so much.
Yeah, but why New York?
New York, I don't know how to explain it. It's like with love, you know, you meet someone and you just love him, and for me it's the same with the cities. I just come to some city and I feel if this is my city or not. And from the first time I came to New York, I really felt that it was deeply my place, and always wanted to try to live here. And then just it happened the way I felt, this readiness inside that I need to move now. And I just did it. Honestly, not even it was related with work, but more with the very strong internal desire.
Desire to move. How do you like it now?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. And I feel that I'm here at home even more than back in St. Petersburg, to be honest. Yeah, I don't know why. It just every time I come here, my soul is filled with warmth.
Yeah.
Although honestly, when I was moving, I was quite frightened that people here are super cold and everyone just cares about their career, and they see that you cannot build real friendships here and things like that. But New York is so diverse and it has so many different communities with different values. You can find anything here.
Yeah, it's so nice to hear about. Actually, yeah, New York is a very unique city. I think it's just so many people here.
Even in terms of US, yes, I think like New York is a different country with its own world.
Yeah, it's like you can be an American or you can be New Yorker. I'm feeling like
yeah,
New Yorkers, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh my gosh, I'm so happy that you came here. I'm sure there are so many opportunities in Web3 and building your social circles, people, friendships around.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Amazing place to start also the business. It feels like so inspiring, and as you mentioned before, like 23 years old entrepreneurs already sold like their businesses. So many opportunities you see here, and it's exciting. You see many examples of
yes,
successful.
for sure. Like you see what is possible, and it drives you to the next levels.
Yes, exactly. Oh, yeah. What's your definition of success?
My definition of success, I think it's be able to do what you want to do, and not to do what you don't want to do. Yes, it's like a short phrase, but it's very uneasy to follow.
Yeah. I mean, you gain an experience first, and then you use this experience to do what you really want to do. Yeah. If something you would recommend to your advice to people who starting this career in Web3, what would you advise to maybe like young female entrepreneurs?
Just start reading about the industry, learn about the products, follow the products and the founders of the products on Twitter, join the Discord, start interacting with founders and with the community. And there are so many things that are needed in the industry. You can do pretty much anything. You can do design, you can do product management, you can do art in NFT space, you can do general management. So based on what you want to do, for sure, like you would be able to find something for yourself and not be afraid. This is a very cool and fun industry.
Yeah, it seems like lots of opportunities are opened and companies just start
Well,
hiring.
now during bear market, probably it's less
than before, but still.
Yeah.
Yeah, so and you provided so many websites and sources of information for someone who is curious.
Yeah.
You have to be curious first.
Yeah, always in life.
Yeah, always, especially in this industry, it's so dynamic and it's always you have to be on top. Yes, right. Victoria, thank you so much for
Thank you.
for chatting. It was an amazing.
It was super
conversation.
comfortable. Yes, thank you for making it so easygoing and nice.
Thank you. How people could find you? Could you share?
I'm on Instagram and on Twitter at Vicquilibrium. I'll send you the link as well.
All right. Yeah.
We'll be happy to connect with everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for watching us today. Wish you have an amazing week and see you later.